Welcome back to the our channel, guys. In this video I will show you what is Express.js and how you can use it. So what is Express.js? Express.js is a web application framework that provide you to application programming interface to build your website and web apps. And with the Express.js you can create your route, and what that mean? That mean you can send, receive, update and delete your data. So let's jump into our code editor and build the our start our project. And the code editor that I am going to use is Visual Studio Code. You can use whatever you like code editor, and in the Visual Studio Code, click on the file and click on the add folder to workspace, and it will ask you where you want to save your project. I am going to my F drive, and I am going to create a new folder and right click create a folder, and the name of our project is actually express dash project project project, and hit enter and click on the add, and you can see it's add the express folder. And after that I am going to and open your our terminal and click on the terminal tab and click a new terminal, and it will automatically start the our terminal. And here type npm init, and what this do, it's actually create our project to build our project, and it will ask your project name express dash project, which is fine, version name fine, description no description I am going to use, and the entry point, that mean the index dot it will create index.js file that we are going to use in our project, and hit enter. Note the command that, and if you have a git repository project, you can use it your link pass to your link, and the keyword not I am going to use author name, I am going to use my name, yes, and no license, it's all look okay. Hit enter, and what is actually creating, it's create a package.json file. The package.json file, it store all the information how our project start and what the third party packages we are using in our project, and the different packages versions you can control it here in the one line. This is the file, it's actually holds various metadata relative to your project. And here you can see this inside the package.json file. Double click on that and you can see there is our name express.project name, there is a version number, description, and our index.js file which is actually not created yet. And here is the script that we are modified in a moment. So first create index.js file, click on the right click here and click on index.js and hit enter. And what we are going to use to start our project, here click on type start and use the index.js file. You can change your name whatever you like, and you can, if you change that, you can also change that here, and hit the save and open the our terminal. And what we are going to use, and we are going to install the our express.js so that we can use it into our project. So type npm install express and hit enter, and here you can see the our express.js is actually installed successfully, and you can see this inside the our package.json file, you can see here. And what this express will do, it's create a server for us, and the next package that we are going to use, it's actually nodemon. And once we write our code and hit the save, it's actually nodemon, it's actually restart our server every time, so we don't need to create it manually. So I am going to open my terminal and click on the npm install and type nodemon and hit enter. And the last package that we are going to install, which is babel. And what it will do, babel is a compiler because we are using ES6 syntax in our program, so we need to compiler. And the babel compiler is actually convert our ES6 code to JavaScript code so that our browser understand what we are writing in our project. And if you are using Node.js 13 plus version, it may not work without the babel. So install the babel CLI and the babel preset and the babel preset stages. And so type npm install and dash dash save and dash dev. This is actually a development dependency, so use dash dev and type babel dash CLI and the other packages, which is babel that preset dash env for environment, and the last package that which is babel dash preset dash stage, which is 0, and hit the enter. And now you can see our dev dependency is installed successfully. You can see into our the package.json file. So the first thing that we are going to add is actually nodemon, and here we can add, so type nodemon, and after that use the our babel dependency, so it's a compile to ES6 code to JavaScript code, and type double dash exe for execute and babel babel dash node and dash e for execute and the JS file, and here add this and hit the save button. And the last thing that we need to, it's actually babel rc file, so right click on that and create dot babel rc file, and inside this file add some lines of code and add curly braces, and inside the double inverted comma use preset presets, and use the bracket and env close the bracket and comma, and the stage that we are going to use, it's actually stage dash 0, and hit the save. And that we missed is actually it's a not, it's a babel rc file, so rename that babelrc and hit enter, and you can see that our code color is actually automatically change, and close that. And now we are going to write our code, and the first thing that we need, it's express.js itself, so we can create our server. So type import express from in the single inverted comma express, and the second thing, instantiate our app, so type const app and use express and the parentheses and the close and the semi-comma and the port number that we are run our project, so use port, and the port number that we are going to use is actually 5000, and type app dot listen, and what this actually, it's actually listen the port number to run on our server on that port, so type port, and after that use a parenthesis and use the bracket key and type console dot log and type your message, the server is running. On port, and specify the port number, which is copy that and paste it and hit the save, and it's time to run our program. So open our terminal and type npm start and hit enter. what it will do, it go to the package.json file and find that start file and use nodeband and whatever the parameters here passed. So it's actually showing us the server is running on port 5000 and the port number. So open our browser and type localhost and the port number, which is 5000, and hit enter, and you can see there is a no message, but our server is running successfully. And here you can see the our port is running on the port 5000, which already we define here. So now let's create our first route. Create some space and type app.get and use that route. What that slash mean, that mean this is the our route, and after that click comma, write a comma and is equal to sign, and the is equal to sign and the greater than sign, and type, and what we are going to pass here is actually request, and the second thing which is response, after that response. So type here console, sorry, type res response dot send once when the user hit on the root directory. So we are going to show the message. So type this is the home page, and you can also console log it here, console dot log, and the pass the exact message which is here, copy paste, close our parentheses and hit the save, and go to the web browser and type localhost and specify the port number and hit enter, and you can see this is the home page. We can bigger it that so you can see it easily. And when we go to our editor and open our terminal, and you can see also here this is the home page, and you can create many of the route that would you like. So how you can create that, you can just I am going to copy that and paste it here, so I am not going to wasting your time, and paste it here. So when you want to create a book route, so use a slash and slash books, and what it will do, when the user go to the slash books route, it show this message. So open our browser and hit the say slash key and type books and hit enter. You can see, and why this error message is occur, because we are not saving our project. So I am going to save that, and you can see it here, and when hits reload, and you can see this is the book route, and you can also do more later than. So I am going to copy that. You can use that subdirectories also, copy that. I am going to paste that and hit save, and after that I am going to use this route, going to this route, and after that use that node.js and hit enter. You can see the node.js is ready to read, and this is the exact message. And you are not limited to send this type of message, you can also send that a json object. So how you can do that, I am going to copy that line to show you. So copy that and paste it here, and close our curly braces and the parentheses, and inside that I am going to type response, and what this type, in this time response we are going to send, it's actually a json file, and which we are not created yet, and the file name that we are going to use is actually readme, and we are going to create a readme file. So I am going to copy that and paste that and hit the save, and once we go that route, it's actually readme route, and you can see go to the read readme, and because why we are getting this error? Because we are calling the wrong file. This is the read text, this is not a read me. So paste that, hit save, go to the exact URL, hit the enter, and you can see the our JSON object is actually parsed successfully here. And now it's time to test the post, update and the delete. So I am going to use the post method. So I am going to type app dot, this time use post, and the URL that we are going to use is actually forward slash and use post data, and after that use comma, and inside this pass the request and the response, and close the our curly braces. And what we are going to use is actually response dot send. And what we are going to use this time use the backtick character, which is actually below the escape key, and type you are posting value, sorry, and use the dollar sign and use the curly braces to read this value. So what we are going to use, it's actually request dot parameters that we are going to use, and after that use value, and where the value is come inside this our URL. So I am going to use forward slash and slash and use a value. Once we post the data using this is the actually value is actually holding our value. So the program that I am going to use to test this route, because we don't have form yet, so I am going to use and click on that plus sign, and here you can choose your uh, the method that we are going to use. It's actually our post method, and the URL that we are going to use, it's actually our local host, sorry, and the port number that we are going to specify, and the URL which is actually post data, and after that use your value. So I am going to use post data and and after that pass the value and hit enter. I am going to pass that 5 and hit the save, and you can see you are posting value 5, which is the exact same thing that we are doing here. And now it's a time to use that our update URL, which is put. So I am going to paste that, and you can see mm, we are using put for update, and this the route that we are use is actually slash update, and pass that value that you want to, and the URL which is and the message that actually you are send update value, and here you can grab your value and open our postman program, and after that type this URL which is update and the value. So I am going to use that update, and the value that you want to save is actually I am going to send that 9, and don't forget to change this value. So the method which I am going to use put and hit this send, and you can see you are send update value which is 9, which we exact theme that we are pass it here. And now it's time to test our delete method. I am going to use that our delete method and paste it here, and the parameter that we are use delete slash value, and this is the exact same thing that we are going to use upper, and the method name which is actually a delete. And why we are using this postman, because we don't have form yet, so I am going to use that postman, and this is the very useful software for developers without developing a form, you can test your all the URLs and the parameters, and you can see your all the values and what the server is actually responding, which is the same thing that you are using in your browser. And now I am going to read a JSON file which is I already pasted in here. You can see that this is the file, and we are going to read some of the specific data and send it to the our browser. So first thing that we need to, it's import this file. So I am going to use that import and from, and in the single inverted comma use the our file data dot json and close that. And what we are going to do to read this file, so first thing that we need to our route to read this file. And inside this I am going to use close that my curly braces, and inside this that we are going to first we actually read this value, and after that go to this data.json file and select the specific data and serve that onto the our browser. So I am going to first console it, so what the data user is actually sending me. So I am going to console that, and we are using data which is actually define it here. And after that I am going to use a bracket and the request and the parameters that we are comes through in our URL, and use and the value that we are going to use that. So I'm going to save that, and in the next line type response dot json, and what we are going to read from the json file from this is the value. So I am going to copy this value, copy all the stuff and paste it into the json file and save it here. And once we go to this URL and send the some value, you can see. So let's go to the our browser and type here data, and after that I am going to use the 24 number and hit enter, and you can see the value is actually coming the 25 number. Why is that happen? Because the array indexing is start through the 0. So on the 25th number it's actually a 24. So then the first name is Bethina, and the last name is Paulson, which is the garbage value, and this is the exact same thing. And you are not limited to only read this kind of stored data. You can also update and delete that. I am not going to cover in this video. In the express video I will cover it later. And so let's go to the our other features in the using the express. And what we are going to do, I am going to read some how you can serve the static file in to our express project. So I am going to close that, and after that I am going to serve some static content. So first thing that we need to, it's import some kind of use sorry app dot use, and the method that is actually using, it's actually express dot static. And here you can pass the which folder that you want to um, that you want to serve as a static. So I am going to use my public folder which is not created yet, and I am going to open my project folder. And this is the our project folder, and inside I am going to create a public folder. So I am going to use public public and hit enter. You can also create that it from here, but I am going to paste some static content. So I am going to copy that my content and paste it here. You can see all the content inside the css folder. You can see the styles.css and the images folder. You can see there is a two images, so I am going to serve that images to how you can read all the images and the css file. So I am going to open my browser and go to the URL inside the css file, and after that inside the css folder there is a file styles.css and hit enter, and we get this is cannot be reached. Why this happen? And because we declare it in the wrong position, because the app is not defined here, app is defined here, and so we need to move that into the our, so beneath the our app. So hit the save and go to the URL and reload our browser, and you can see our css file, which is the actually the exact same thing that we, you can see it here. Go to the css, and inside the css this is the exact same file which you can see it here. You can also see your images. I am going to images, imag, and inside this images I am going to find monst.jpg and hit enter, and you can see the images that it's actually serving me, which is the exact images what we are seeing. You are here. It's time to add some request handler. And what is the request handler? And look at this code. If you want to execute some data after this block of code, after this block of code execute, and you want to and write some post data, and you can do whatever you like. So how you can do that after this will execute? So use we have a method, built-in method, which is the next. So define it here, next next, and after that block of code use comma here, and you can define it here. So I am going to use another request and response, and you can actually use it here. So after this block of code done, and I am going to console a new value. So I am going to use that the first block is executed successfully. And after that we have a method. Where is the next method, which is the next, and close the parenthesis and the semi comma, so that after this block of code it will actually go to this our another block of code. If you not define it here, it will not go to this block of code. So I am going to test that inside our browser. So I am going and open our browser and go to the URL, which is the data, and after that I am going to use the number which is 21, and you can see our value is coming. And now go to our program and open our terminal, and you can see the after executing successfully this block of code, you can actually it's actually console it here, and after this block of successfully run, it's actually run that this block of code. If I comment this block and go to the browser and when I hit reload, the value is actually coming, but when we go to this our terminal, you can see our second block is actually not executed. Why? Because we are not using next here. So I am going to re-enable that and hit the save, and when I am going to reload that, and you can see this time the block is executed successfully. So I hope you can understand what is the next is used, and you can change it whatever the number you like. That mean you can copy that, paste that, use that next, and whatever your imagination. And it's time to use some of the other handler that are actually available in the our express.js. So I am going to paste that, and what we are going to use the first handler, which is the redirect handler. I am going to uncomment that and save our code, and once we go to this URL, it's automatically redirect we to the google.com. So let's test this. Go to the URL and type readme and hit enter, and you can see it's automatically readme on the google.com. And now it's time to use our download handler. So I am going to copy that first one and uncomment the second one, and go to the our URL. So it's localhost and the port number, which is 5000, and the slash is actually readme, and hit enter, and you can see it's automatically download that image. And you can see when I go to the my download, and you can see it's automatically download on the seventh time. I already tested that to show you before. And now it's time to our use our end handler. I am going to comment that, and I am going to uncomment that. So what is the end handler do? If somebody go to the URL, it's actually in the user response. So I am going to use go to the localhost and the port number, which is 5000, and go to the readme and hit enter, and you can see we don't get any type of response. The next feature that I am going to use, it's actually chaining our route. So what that mean? So first I am going to refactor this code. After that you will understand what is the chaining. So I am going to app dot, I am going to hit enter, and I am going to use app dot route, and after that I am going to copy this route and cut that here, paste that here, and I am going to delete the semi comma. And you can actually do that, and you can see what we are going to the exact same thing that we are previously available here. And after that you can actually change that URL. You can do all kinds of stuff on the same URL. You can get, post, put, and also a delete. You don't want to every time to use app dot get, app dot post, app dot delete. You can actually do that all the stuff in the one same URL. So this is the called a chaining. And the next feature that we are going to learn, which is middleware. And what is middleware do? It's once the user send some any kind of request that we want to identify which kind of user send send the request. So we can use that some of the middleware like original URL. So I am going to first console log it, console.log, and inside the backtick character I am going to this this is original URL, and the method that we are going to identify that request dot original URL. And the second method that we can identify which method is used by the user, which is post put delete. So I am going to replace this to method and hit the save, and after that go to the URL which is do sum and the parameter that we want to pass and hit enter, and you can see the message which is all okay. And on our terminal you can see the original URL is actually do sum, and the exactly the parameter we passed it here, and the method that is used by which is get. And it's time to play with some form data. So what we are going to do, it's the first thing that we are going to import in the our project to use app.json data, because we are going to send some data using the JSON format through our form using the our postman program. So I am going to use that app.use, and after that use that express.json, so that we can parse and process some JSON data, and hit the save. And I am going to open my postman program, and the open our postman program, and I am going to type my URL which is localhost and the port number which is 5000, and after that the URL which is do sum and which is already here, and click on the key tab and type here on the go to the first go to the headers tab and type here content dash type type, sorry for that, content content type, choose that, and in this three little bit of tiny icons click on that and use values, and here type application slash json and choose that data, and after that click on the body tab, and here you can choose the raw icon which is tiny icon, and inside this icon use the two curly braces, and in the curly braces I am going to type hello, and the message that you want to send in the double inverted comma I am developer, and click on the send button, and you can see our message which is all okay, which is we are defined here, and you can see the our original URL, and the method that we are use is actually get. And after that we are going to use some of the our body parser, so we can read that data that we are actually sending through here. So how we can read this data, using the request.body method which is console.log, and in the backtick character use this, remove this, and you can use request.body if all the data that actually comes through this body it's actually printed by here. So I am going to save that, and I am going to resend my data, which is actually when I click that, and you can see this hello I am a developer. And if you want to only the value some of the specific data, you can actually use that like body dot, and what actually what you are defining in your form you can use that like your name, whatever the other fields that you are actually define um, on your form. How you can do that, like that here is the actually it's actually request.body, and here I am going to use request.body.hello, so I am going to only that hello value, not all the fields. So I am going to save that and resend that value, and the message is all okay, and you can see hello I am a developer, this is the it's actually print all the body item, and this time it's actually only print hello sorry I am a developer. And the last method that I am going to show you how you can throw the error, so you can know what the exact error in your program. So I am going to use that a custom middleware. This is the our last method. So I am going to use get, and get, after that I am going to use throw, throw, and in this method that we are going to use request response, and the method that is actually you can also you can pass error if you want to identify that, and click on that and use that. And how you can throw the error, just type throw throw and new and type error, and it's automatically throw the error when the user hit enter on this URL, actually hitting this URL. So I am going to localhost and type throw and hit enter, and you can see the our error is generated, and which line, it's actually line number 20. You can see this is the line number 20 which is throw this error.